Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Robert Parris, Tad Stefanak, Peter Brown with the weather, Ian Casciola with the Community Bulletin Board, and Matt DiMarzio with sports. Thank you for joining us. A suspect is behind bars on charges of stealing nearly $500,000 worth of items from his place of work. Police Chief Michael Kent reports that the Burlington Police Department has charged the man with larceny after he allegedly stole almost $500,000 worth of equipment from his employer to then sell online. Jeffrey James, 52, of Barry, is charged with larceny over $250 by a single scheme. Police said in a release. They did not name the company. Burlington police conducted an investigation into stolen medical, computer, and office equipment after being contacted by a local business about a possible theft. Detectives subsequently served a search warrant, which resulted in the recovery of stolen property worth $461,000 and other evidence at James's residence. James is scheduled to be arraigned in Woburn District Court on January 18th. These are allegations, and as you know, all suspects are innocent until proven guilty. A Burlington woman has been sentenced to jail and ordered to pay up to $570,000 in restitution for stealing from public agencies by billing for unlicensed psychological services, according to Attorney General Maura Healey. She announced that on Tuesday. According to a release from the AG's office, Nita Guzman, 52, pleaded guilty last Friday in Middlesex Superior Court to the charges of Medicaid false claims to public agencies, larceny, and unlicensed practice of psychology. After the plea was entered, Judge Lawrence Pierce sentenced Guzman to 18 months in the House of Correction and 5 years of probation upon completing her sentence. The judge also ordered her to pay up to $570,000. A restitution hearing has been set for February 7th, 2017 to determine the exact amount of restitution. Guzman's twin sister, Nina Tischer, pled guilty in February to similar charges. The AG's investigation revealed that Guzman, through her company New England Psychological Consultants Incorporated, billed Medicaid, Medicare, and Lawrence Public Schools more than $550,000 for unlicensed mental health services. The Burlington Board of Selectmen voted to allow the transfer of an all-alcohol license from Paparazzi to the 2 new restaurants looking to occupy the site. As reported on BNews, after Paparazzi closed in October, Rebels Restaurants Incorporated, a business group with restaurants in the Boston area, came forward with plans to open 2 restaurants in that one site. One of the restaurants would be the high-end Mexican establishment Temazcal, and the other would be a more affordable pizza and Italian restaurant called Tony's Coal Fire Pizza. In order to move forward with the project, the restaurant group needed to obtain the liquor license that was used by Paparazzi. The Board of Selectmen approved the transfer after going over some of the details that make this situation unique. First, even though it is 2 locations, it counts as 1 establishment. This means that if one of the restaurants fails a liquor sale compliance check, or has a similar issue and loses the ability to sell alcohol for some time, both would be subject to the suspension. There were also some questions about Burlington's bylaw limiting the sale of drinks to 2 per person unless food is also ordered. Members of the board wanted to know how that would be enforced and how they could prevent someone from buying 2 drinks on one side and then moving to the other for a 3rd round. One of the members of Rebel Restaurants said the managers on both sides will use wireless headsets to communicate. They will also have a strong front door and management presence at both restaurants. On Monday, the Board of Selectmen voted to allow the Burlington Fire Department to obtain a list of paramedics from civil service, a step in increasing the level of emergency care the department can provide. BNews Director Rich Hosford went down to the department to learn more. He files this report.
Members of the Burlington Fire Department were at Monday's Board of Selectmen meeting to get approval to request from Civil Service a selective certification list for paramedics. The reason is to hire personnel with a higher degree of medical training and to eventually increase the department's level of ambulance service from basic life support to advanced life support. Fire department leaders say this will allow them to offer a higher level of care for the community.
The difference between an EMT and a paramedic is levels of responsibility and levels of education. To become an EMT, which was formerly known as the basic EMT, it's just known as the EMT in Massachusetts now, it's roughly about 170 hours of school. It takes about 3 to 6 months depending on the program. And at that point, you become licensed and you can deliver care under the basic life support level, which is basic bleeding control, CPR. There are 3 or 4 different medications that can be administered at this level. And then there's the paramedic that practices under the advanced life support. And in order to become a paramedic, it's an additional roughly about 1,500 hours of school above and beyond the EMT.
Paramedics can also provide more services in the ambulance, including the use of many more types of medications.
So the whole purpose behind the advanced life support of the paramedic was to bring the emergency room to the patient on the street in pre-hospital. So there are a lot of those 40 medications are medications that would normally be administered in the emergency department. So the advantage is that the emergency room is actually being brought to the patient prior to them even getting to the hospital. So it's that much sooner.
Currently, all advanced life support services are provided by a contractor that is not dedicated solely to Burlington. This means there is a difference in response time between basic life support and advanced life support.
In Burlington, our basic life support ambulance can get to pretty much anyone in Burlington roughly in 4 minutes. And our average response time for our advanced life support provider is 7 minutes. So there is roughly about a 3-minute difference between BLS and ALS.
And studies show that patients who receive advanced life support tend to have a better outcome.
People who get advanced life support sooner than later, they tend to have better outcome overall, less morbidity and mortality, less length of stay in hospital, and actually get discharged earlier.
Fire department leaders also say this is a uniquely good time to start to make the switch to advanced life support level. Town meeting approved the hiring of 8 new members over 2 years, and there are also a number of retirements coming up.
It is a unique opportunity for us because the town is committed to expanding the fire department by 8 firefighters. So we have 4 in the current budget, and we're going to have 4 for next year's budget. So we look at it as a unique opportunity where we're hiring that, and then coupled with potential retirements, we're going to hire a large quantity of individuals in a very short period of time. So, we're looking at this as an opportunity to look at going ALS, which is the paramedic service.
Along with hiring new members with paramedic training, there is also opportunity to train current members of the department.
Again, we'd not only are we going to hire new employees, but we'd also like to give the opportunity to our current employees or EMTs that might be interested in advancing to the paramedic level. That would be a commitment of a year of schooling at a minimum.
Finally, though, there is some cost increase, which is mostly offset by capturing more funds by providing ambulance transports. Lieutenant Saya said he thinks it is better for the community to move in this direction.
There's an additional cost associated with upgrading to the level, such as equipment, training. There's medications. There's licenses to the Department of Public Health. There's medical oversight through our affiliate hospital. But we feel that the benefit far outweighs the cost involved. If you can get ALS to the residents of Burlington and the visitors of Burlington sooner than later, then that far outweighs. In addition to that, we feel as if with the billing procedures the way they are, we can help offset the cost.
At the Burlington Fire Station, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
3 of Burlington's town meeting precincts are underrepresented. According to a notice from Town Clerk Amy Warfield, there is 1 vacancy in Precinct 4, 1 vacancy in Precinct 6, and 2 vacancies in Precinct 7. Anyone from those precincts who would like to try and fill a vacancy should contact the other town meeting members in that precinct to have their names placed in nomination. There will then be a meeting of the precinct members to fill the vacancy that will be held Thursday, January 4th, 2017 at 6 p.m. promptly in the clerk's office at Burlington Town Hall. Last week was Computer Science Week at BHS, and as part of that, Google, Endeavor Robotics, and Vistaprint came by to show students how their inventions have made an impact in the outside world. BNews reporter Robert Paris was there, and he has this report.
Science and technology are changing by the minute. Last week was Computer Science Education Week at Burlington High School. As part of Computer Science Education Week, different companies came by the school's lower library to show students how their products are useful to the outside world. The Computer Science Education Week wouldn't be complete if it wasn't for BHS teacher Meg Bednarsik.
So it's Computer Science Education Week. I am one of the computer science teachers here at Burlington High School. This is the Hour of Code you might have heard about. It's an International Computer Science Education Week. The students completed the Hour of Code this morning in their homerooms, and now we've got some fun robots here from Endeavor Robotics. We have a Google engineer here as well. iRobot was here earlier this week just demonstrating all of the cool stuff they do.
There were many participants in the Science Week, including Vistaprint, Google, and Endeavor Robotics.
I'm with Vistaprint.
I'm a software engineer with Google.
David Krowitz from Endeavor Robotics.
Vistaprint, Google, and Endeavor Robotics have been developing new inventions and products. They brought their products to BHS to allow the students and teachers a chance to check them out.
I've got a sample of different products that we've launched from Hatchery, and so an example here is ThreadPost. And ThreadPost is a product where someone designs a t-shirt and they create a campaign to sell it. And for every shirt that gets sold, they earn some money. And so in this example, like maybe you sell a shirt for $20 and you earn $3. At the end of 4 weeks, you get to cash out and we'll mail you some money for your shirts that you've sold.
So what I'm showing here today is an application we call Quick Draw, which asks you to draw something in 20 seconds or less. And as you're drawing it, you may have to draw intermediate lines and things like that. It's going to try to guess what you're actually drawing. And in some cases, it'll guess really quickly and recognize that you've drawn what you've asked it to draw, or what you were asked to draw. And other times, you'll go the whole 20 seconds thinking that you're drawing exactly what it's looking for, and the algorithm isn't smart enough to recognize that shape.
The one that we're standing next to is the Cobra. This is a, again, heavy bomb disposal robot. It's also used in nuclear power plants for getting into areas that have been damaged that they don't want to send people into. Can also be outfitted with a fire nozzle for like overturned tankers or chemical warehouse fires where you don't want to send in firefighters close enough where people might get injured by exploding barrels of God knows what.
Finally, what did those who organized and participated in the event hope students would take away from it?
What I'm trying to do is introduce them to a little bit of what's behind computer science today. We have a lot of the classical computer science, which is algorithms and data structures and how you organize your data and making efficient algorithms. What I'm trying to show today is introducing machine learning. So if you think about it, all of us learned without any instruction on how to walk, and we did that by observing our environment and taking some tepid movements and figuring out what happened and getting feedback. And what machine learning does, and there's lots of different algorithms that machine learning uses, but it looks at how the brain is processing that information and being able to make decisions based on what it's seen in the past and what feedback it's getting from the environment.
The robots are kind of bring together all of the different engineering disciplines into a single package. Primarily, you have to design a machine that does something useful. You can design something that's really cool that dances and sings, but okay, who wants to buy that? You need to have a mechanical design that can do a job that people need doing that they don't want to do themselves. You then have to design the electronics to make all the motors move, to make the cameras function, to get the lights on, to get the radios to function. And then you need software to control all of that.
Kids are really excited about the subject matter. They're excited about what they're seeing, and they want to know how they can become, how they can be in these roles one day. So they know they're learning what skills they need to learn. I've heard kids ask how they could get an internship at the company, what skills they need to take, what math classes they should take, what they should major in college. So they're really learning about the career field and how they could be successful in these future careers one day.
From the Lower Library, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
The district recently welcomed a Pressed Cafe, a place where customers can find breakfast and lunch items sold throughout the day. BNews Director Rich Hosford went to check it out and has this report.
There is a new place in Burlington to grab a quick bite to eat, sip on a micro-roasted coffee from a local roaster, or even grab a specialty juice. It is also a place where you can find breakfast sandwiches and breakfast burritos served all day. It's Pressed Cafe in the district, and the owners say that even though the food is fast, that doesn't mean it's unhealthy.
Press Cafe is a quick service restaurant, which means that you would order your food at the counter and we bring your food to your table, where we offer fresh items fast. I think a lot of people have a misconception or a bad experience with fast food. The word fast food usually has a negative connotation, but our mission is to bring healthy and fresh options quickly, and including things like breakfast all day. We have 16 breakfast burritos to choose from. We have fresh salads, paninis, and quinoa bowls and mac and cheese bowls. So we sort of have everything, something for everyone, I guess is another way you could look at it.
This is the second Pressed Cafe location, the first being in Nashua, New Hampshire. Mary said that what appeals to customers there is that they work hard to get the food out in a timely manner, something that is helpful for busy people on the go.
We actually found the same sort of space available in Nashua, meaning that there wasn't a place where we could go and get fresh food fast. Something like if I wanted to get a really fresh salad, but I only had 10 minutes to go and grab it, there was nowhere really to go. So providing that option for people that have a short lunch break, or they don't have an hour and a half every day for lunch to go and get something to eat. So having that fast element, but fresh, when people want fast food, usually their options are traditional fast food places. So we take a lot of pride in that every item on our menu is designed to have a 3 to 5 minute ticket time.
Another feature of the restaurant is its selection of specialty juices, which will soon be an expanded item on the menu.
Things we're really excited about to bring to Burlington is our juice bar. So we have a fresh juice bar with over almost 15 fresh fruits and vegetables that you can choose from. You can build your own juices. We have 6 of our own recipes that we found have been really big hits. So things like a juice cleanse is an excellent way to kick off, if you want to make a change in your diet, or if you want to make that next step to be healthy, juicing is a great option to do that. A lot of people always want to try to juice from home, and it ends up being really messy and extremely expensive. And just to have that option to come here and do a juice cleanse, that's one of the things we're going to be launching early in the new year. Will be a juice cleanse program that people can come and do and help and provide some guidance for people who want to start doing it.
Mary said that locating in Burlington was an easy decision. She and her family always loved coming here, and when the opportunity to open up shop in town arose, they jumped on it.
We love Burlington as a town ourselves, as a city. We are from Nashua, but we used to always come down to Burlington with our kids to the Burlington Mall when the Rainforest Cafe was there and the Lego store, and we always loved this area in general. We go to down by Flatbread and Bamboo. We actually eat more in Burlington than we do in Nashua. So when we were presented with the opportunity, we just loved the city so much that we decided to just jump on the opportunity right away. The town, rather, sorry.
Finally, she said the reception to town has been great.
Amazing. I have to say, the people in Burlington have been so receptive. They have been so welcoming to us. Really excited to try us out, and our goal is to fit the bill. I think we're bringing Burlington what it has been looking for, but maybe didn't even know that they were looking for it yet.
At Press Cafe, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
In addition to providing service dogs directly for people with disabilities, the NEEDS organization in Princeton, Massachusetts also trains service dogs for partnership with teachers, therapists, courthouse settings, and other walks of life. These canine assistants are matched with schools to help work with students and teachers in relieving tension and other therapeutic situations. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak was in the high school and has more on Burlington's Wonder Dog.
Burlington High School has a big man on campus. He's the most popular guy in the lunchroom cafeteria, one of the biggest Red Devil sports fans there is, a hit with teachers and faculty,
good boy,
and even scored a date to the prom. Scooter the service dog welcomes BHS students to the school every day. And this is where I caught up with Scooter's handler, Christina Ciccolini. department head of special education at Burlington High School.
Last year, I pitched an idea to the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, and Mark Sullivan about possibly getting an assistance dog for the school to help students with social emotional needs.
Scooter's fantastic. When Ms. Ciccolini first proposed the idea to have him come, I think everybody was immediately excited, and we're very thankful that we were able to make it work with a generous grant from the Burlington Education Foundation.
My mom told me that there was going to be a dog at the school, and when I first heard about him, I was really happy.
Well, Scooter is this dog that's always around and makes all of us really feel happier, because the school is very school, and so when the dog is around, it really makes all of us feel welcome to this environment. It makes it warmer,
He's just a real pleasant, fun-loving dog. Has had a lot of positive benefits on students, staff.
We have the dog because it helps students calm down, or if they're stressed, it'll calm them down.
His day-to-day is more as a distraction for the students, I would say. He has been in some of my programming for special education students, but he's also been involved with the general population in terms of regular ed teachers accessing him prior to tests, quizzes, AP exams, maybe students who have received bad news, death in the family, etc. And so he provides that comfort, that non-judgment.
Attachments have been developed with Scooter as he's been embraced by students and teachers.
Just informally, when kids see him, they smile. When I see him, I smile.
We do the announcements every morning, so every morning we get to watch Scooter run into the office all excited to get his carrots that he has as a treat and do his tricks, and that's a lot of fun.
He knows a lot of tricks, he knows how to give a kiss, and he knows how to leave it. If there's a treat, he knows how to leave it.
Kids that never really participate in school events or anything actually love Scooter a lot. Everyone loves Scooter, and I think that's the beauty of it, because everyone's involved when it comes to Scooter, so it brings the community together.
He makes me feel good every day.
Scooter's easing presence engages students, teachers, and faculty alike.
How about Belly?
Creating a unique bond with the entire student body, providing a therapeutic effect of stress relief for everyone in Burlington's academia.
He lightens the mood. He's brought a lot of stress relief to different activities that we do here at the high school.
I think that he's been a great addition. I think the air in this high school has changed. He's been so positive. Students that, come into school in the morning, I make sure that he's out fooling around with some of the kids. So when they come in the morning and they may not want to be here or groggy from getting up so early, they all of a sudden smile. And I think that's the most important thing, is that he puts a smile on everybody's face.
Best dog in the world.
Yeah.
He can
jump.
We need
more dogs.
more
in the school.
dogs. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I agree. Best addition the school's ever added.
From the Burlington High School, I'm BNEWS reporter Tad Stefanak. Back to you in the studio.
Winter has officially arrived. To see what that will mean in the upcoming forecast, we go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our weather center. We'll also check out the community calendar with Ian Casciola to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone. This is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. And as you know, we have a pretty busy weekend coming up, that's for sure. We have Hanukkah, we also have Christmas, and we have Kwanzaa starting. So everything is being celebrated at the same time this year. So this is a pretty busy and exciting time of the year. And to start out our period, we're going to actually start to see temperatures on Friday a little bit above average. That's going to be a little bit nice if you're going out and finishing any holiday shopping that you have left, because you really only have I want to say, 3 days left maybe to get all of your shopping done, so there's not much time left. But as you're stepping out there on Friday, you're going to see temperatures around 40 or so fairly pleasant for this time late in December, a little bit above the average. We're going to be fairly far away from both our record highs and our record lows for the next week or so. So we're going to pretty much have a fairly average week, but actually very pleasant for this time of the year. As you can notice down here, look at the length of day is just about as short as it gets right now. But as you can notice here, we're actually picking up a few minutes in the evening again. So we're starting to look ahead towards the days getting longer. So that's a great sign ahead. As you move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going to be going on with our weather for the next 7 days. And really, the only thing that's going to be of note coming up is going into Christmas Day, so on Sunday, there's going to be a fairly powerful storm out in the Midwest. So if you're traveling out to, say, Chicago, Detroit, or any areas like that, you may actually see some blizzard conditions when you get out that way, and maybe some fairly strong thunderstorms over the Ohio River Valley. But this entire storm is going to lift to our northwest and far away from us here in Burlington. So that's going to bring us for most of the holiday weekend, actually, going into next Monday and Tuesday, some very nice conditions. The temperatures in the 40s with partly cloudy skies, so really nothing big coming at us. So this is great. This is really dodging a bullet. This would have been a really big problem if this storm was heading towards us for the weekend. But thankfully, we're going to have some great weather coming up. And as we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit, some interesting facts about the holiday weekend that's coming up. Now, if you can believe, a lot of you are probably saying, wow, the first night of Hanukkah is falling on Christmas Eve. We have so much stuff going on at once. And a lot of people have asked, how common is that to happen? Well, it's actually more common than you think. Actually, Hanukkah has actually coincided with Christmas Eve and actually Christmas Day a total of 8 times in the last century. So if you can believe it, it actually happens quite a bit, that's for certain. As we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit more what's going to be coming up from this weekend. I know you're going to be preparing for your holidays, for Hanukkah, for Christmas, and Kwanzaa. Kids, if you want to, you can go onto a site called noradsanta.org, and this is run by the U.S. and Canadian governments, and this is a site where you can actually go on and track Santa's progress as he makes your way towards Burlington. And don't forget, starting on December 26th, on Monday, we're starting the full week of Kwanzaa. So this is quite an exciting week coming up, that's for sure. As we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about some of the great weather that we're going to be having for all of your holiday celebrations. Look at this, starting out Friday. Beautiful weather, temperatures in the 40s. We might see for the first night of Hanukkah, we might see a few showers in the afternoon, but those should be clearing out as you start your festivities at nighttime and as we get into Christmas Eve. And getting into Christmas Day, look at this, wall-to-wall sunshine, temperatures in the lower 40s, so that's really beautiful. And starting off Kwanzaa on Monday, look at this. We're going to see maybe a chance of a few showers, but again, temperatures in the 40s. But look at this, we get to Tuesday, a chance of rain, but look at temperatures near 50. But of course, as you know, getting into the late, into this part in winter, Wednesday it's going to cool off dramatically, and as we get to the end of the period, there's a little bit of a hint that we may see a little bit of a mix of rain and snow with a storm system moving by. But temperatures overall, except for Wednesday, are going to be fairly nice. So everyone, I hope you have a very happy holiday season and have a great week.
Hello, and welcome to your community calendar. Parents, do your teens enjoy movies? On Tuesday, December 27th from 6 to 8 p.m., the Burlington Public Library is having a teen movie and a hot chocolate bar. Have fun with your friends as you enjoy the movie Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, starring Eva Green. There will also be popcorn. The event is for teens in grades 6 through 12. For more info, visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. Are you looking for some musical entertainment? On Tuesday, December 27th from 7 to 10 p.m., Chops American Bar and Grill in Burlington is having Phil Pacino, a singer, come to perform at Chops. Through deeply personal and introspective lyrics, Pacino's delivery is as powerful in stripped-down acoustic-driven arrangements as canvassed across a full-throttle band. Pacino's flexible nature as a songsmith is no coincidence. Born from his 300-plus performances per year, ranging from solo acoustic and small combos to Rauco's full-band rock shows. For more info, visit chopsamericanbarandgrill.com or call 781-221-6643. Parents, are your kids ready for New Year's? On Saturday, December 31st at 11 a.m., the Barnes & Noble in Burlington is having a storytime event called Happy All Year by Keith Baker. The P's have rolled through the letters, numbers, and colors. With simple, upbeat rhyming text and playful, vibrant illustrations, the entertaining little P characters of Baker's popular series cheerfully introduce the month of the year. Everyone is welcomed and the event is free. For more info, visit barnesandnoble.com or call 781-273-3871. This has been your community calendar. I'm Ian Castiola. Back to you in the studio.
The winter sports season is in full swing at BHS, and so we are starting up our Red Devils coverage. We go now to BNEWS sports reporter Matt DiMarzio for this week's sports report.
Hi everyone, this is Matt DiMarzio here with your BNews Sports Report. The winter sports season is underway at Burlington High, and there has already been plenty of excitement to start the year. There's a new boys basketball coach, and the Red Devils certainly welcome their coach, Phil Connors, in style with an 80-43 win against Drake-It. Drake-It actually scored the first 12 points of the game before Burlington rallied to victory. The Devils are starting the Middlesex League part of their schedule with a home game against Winchester on Thursday night. The girls' basketball team is also underway and dropped its first 2 games of the season after dropping a non-league game against Waltham, and the Lady Devils lost a close game against Reading. BHS will try to bounce back on Thursday night in Winchester. Now on the ice, the Burlington teams are also underway. The boys started the season with a tight 3-2 loss against Reading, but rebounded by clobbering Woburn by an 8-1 score. The Devils are off until playing in Barnstable on Wednesday, December 28th at 11:45 a.m. The girls started with losses to Reading and Woburn, but have showed some terrific signs along the way. The Lady Devils are back on the ice next Wednesday with a home game against Masconomet Regional at the Ice Palace starting at 2:30 p.m. Friday night at Burlington High is one of the school's best traditions, when the BHS boys gymnastics team has its annual alumni meet at 7 o'clock. One of the state's most successful programs, there's sure to be plenty of talent, young and old, flipping around the gym that night. That is sports. I'm Matt DiMarzio. Back to you guys in the studio, and I hope everyone has a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Finally this week, a little more sports news. Athletes at Burlington High School were honored as all-scholastic athletes by the Boston Globe for the 2016 fall sports season. Members of the Burlington football team, girls soccer, boys soccer, and field hockey teams made the list. In football, the Red Devils quarterback Dylan Bonfilio, middle linebacker and fullback Kyle Forrester, wide receiver Fernando Lamine, offensive linebacker and fullback Billy Pappas, and tight end and defensive end Matt Ryan all made the cut. Girls soccer players Riley Glennon, Orianne Holman, and Madison McDonald were honored, as were Brian Puckmel, Victor Ramirez, and Orlando Rodriguez on the boys team. Girls field hockey players Carolyn Bonetti and Megan Murray were also on the list. That's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, Robert Paris, Ted Stefanak, Peter Brown, Ian Cacciola, and Matt DiMarzio, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a Happy Hanukkah. Thank you for joining us.